into other countries and look at how the stock exchanges there are doing. But thank you very much for them to remain tuned on Smart 24 while we drive your business. My name is Anthony once again. Now let's look at Nairobi here. Of course, Nairobi during this season, all eyes are on Nairobi and Kenya as a country as they elect a new president this time round, and they have had a different reactions from the shareholders, different reactions from looking at the stock market. However, this time around, it has been a positive reaction. Looking at just yesterday's trade, in aggregate, over 45 listed equities participated in trading, and the day ended with 26 gainers and just 8 losers, meaning regardless of elections and whatsoever is happening in the political world, business is booming, especially in the stock market in Kenya. We're seeing very good activity, and their all share index also, this which is the Nairobi Securities Exchange, performance of all the listed companies on NSE soared by 3.72 points, and that was a daily 2.56% increase in the prices in the points for the Nairobi Securities Exchange All Share Index, and they closed at 148.81 points, which is a good indicator. We've been trying to struggle through the 130s. Now we are into the 140s with over 148.81. And when you observe that graph for the Nairobi Securities Exchange All Share Index, you will realize how actually the stock markets are returning to actual performance. And that graph definitely will see that you will see that there's a steady rise, and you will encounter just that dip where we saw it in July, but currently the stock market is actually regaining strength, and we're expecting even better performances to come back from the Nairobi Securities Exchange here on the show. Now, the exchange had, like we have 6 total number of equities that traded some that actually were able to do some trading, and amongst these 46 we had 26 gainers, and the gainers were led by Ever Ready East Africa, which is the token at 9.59%, the day with a price of 0.8 Kenyan shillings per share. Now let's look at Ever Ready East Africa. Ever Ready East Africa, a limited company in Kenya, and is a Kenyan-based company active in manufacture and sale of Ever Ready branded dry cells, that is D-size batteries, and this is in East Africa, as well as trade in of an assortment of imported Ever Ready branded flashlights, batteries, razors and accessories. And the company's major brands include Ever Ready, Energizer and Chic. And of course these take batteries. We also have rechargeable batteries, and Ever Ready products, of course, are ranging from several other energy storage devices as well. Now, Ever Ready products include also heavy duty batteries, super heavy duty batteries, and general purpose batteries, as well as flashlights. Ever Ready is listed on NSE, and Ever Ready East Africa is traded on the NSE under the ticker symbol EVRD. The International Securities Identification Number for Ever Ready is K000588, and Ever Ready East Africa is currently the 57th most valuable stock on the Uganda Nairobi Securities Exchange, with a total market capitalization of over 168 million Kenyan shillings, which is about 0.073% of the total 22 trillion of Kenyan shillings. That is the market, equity market there in Nairobi. And when you look at yesterday, their opening price was 0.8. Their day's low price was still 0.8, and their day's high price was 0.81. And the traded volume was over 8,000 shares that were traded on this counter yesterday in 6 deals. And their gross turnover was 6,404 Kenyan shillings. And then you're seeing their earnings per ratio, and that is about 0.17. And the shares outstanding are currently 210 million shares, and the market capitalization of 168 million Kenyan shillings. They closed the day with a price of 0.8 Kenyan shillings per share on the NSE, recording over 9.6% gain over its previous day closing price of 0.73 Kenyan shillings. And Everready East Africa began the year with a share price of 0.98 Kenyan shillings, but has since lost an 18.4% of that price valuation, ranking it the 56th on the Nairobi Securities Exchange in terms of year-to-date performance. Shareholders' fears may be allayed by the 11% increase in Everready East African share price growth, that is from the month of July 13th to 14th to 13th of August, and which was the 14th best on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Everready East Africa is the 34th also most traded stock on Nairobi Securities Exchange over this period within the past 3 months, that is from the 12th of May to the 11th of August 2022. And it has recorded a total volume of 559,900 shares over this period, with an average of 8,887 traded shares per session, and a volume high of 202,300 shares, which was achieved on the 4th of July 2022 within this same period, as we can see. That is Everready East Africa for you, a company specializing in batteries. They are in Kenya, who came out on top as a gainer. Let's look at Longhorn Publishers, who came in the second place as well. Longhorn Publishers is also a Kenyan best public limited liability publishing company. The company sells educational general books and general books for all educational levels. Preschool, you have secondary, you have you even have tertiary or university, and so many other institutions. It was incorporated in 1965 and was formerly known as Longhorn Kenya Limited, but until November 2014, and it was listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange in May 2012. And the company has businesses open in Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda as well. And its main business is the development, publication, and marketing and distribution of educational and general books for you there. Then we can see a 0.03 shillings increase in price to about 3.6 Kenyan shillings in prices. The total traded volume on the counter was 300 shares, and the day's high price was 3.6, and the day's low price was 3.6 as well. Their gross turnover was 1,080, 1,080 Kenyan shillings. Amongst there's 20 over 300 shares that were traded yesterday, and the number of deals was only 2 deals that were made for this particular transaction. The earnings per share are still at 0.02, while the earnings price per earnings ratio is 178.5. And when you look clearly here, you can see that their shares outstanding, we have seen it at 272 million, and while their market capitalization is over 973 million Kenyan shillings. And on a 1 week basis, they have lost 0.83%. On a 4 week basis, they are still gaining by over 13%, while on a 3 month basis, they have gained only 2%. They're currently the 38th most valuable, most traded on stock, and that's in the last 3 months since May to August right now. And they have a total of over 290,900 shares that were traded in over 261 deals within this period. And that is Longhorn Printing and Publishing Company for you. The losers, we said, we had on the losing side Olympia Capital Holdings, who came out with a last day price depreciation of 8.37% and closing at the day at a price of 2.19 Kenyan shillings per share. He was followed by Nairobi Business Ventures after losing about 3.75%, and then Equity Group Holdings after losing about 2.82% on their counter yesterday, and Liberty Kenya Holdings. Safaricom still recorded the highest volume, though no movement in price. It recorded a volume of 2.42 million traded shares, while CIC Insurance as well came in at 1.57 million shares, and I&M Holdings came in at 1.36 million shares, while equity came in at 1.32 shares. We had other counters like ABSA traded over 49,000 shares, closing the day with a price of 12. We also had Bamburi Cement at 1,800 shares that were traded at 37.35 Kenyan shillings. We had BKG, that is BK Group Limited Company, and then we have Commercial Bank of Kenya, that is 71.25 closing price, and so many others. Remember, you can always invest in Nairobi, you can invest in Rwanda, and so many other securities exchanges across East Africa without fail if you have everything it takes to do just that. The exchange here in Nairobi began in 1964 and is the oldest and largest stock exchange within East Africa. Now, regarding the performance of the index went down by 2.27 points, and we see that it decreased by 1.53%, and we see it closing at 145 points, or close to that or so. Then this, of course, we can look at the total results of trading, that is trading on aggregate, or the average trading for the Nairobi Securities Exchange. At the end of the day's trading session, we had over 9,772,300 shares in 955 deals, corresponding to a market value of 228,362,512 shares, which were, of course, when you compare with the previous day, there was an 8% decline in volumes and a 31% or decline in turnover, while we had an 11% improvement in the turnover in the deals that were made. And the current market capitalization for NSE, that is Nairobi Securities Exchange, is 2.32 trillion Ugandan shillings. And of course, that winds up the Nairobi market for you. Let's move very quickly before we wind up to Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, Johannesburg Stock Exchange is the principal stock exchange in South Africa, and is one of the biggest but still the oldest exchanges here in Africa, South Africa to be particular, but also in the entire continent of Africa. They have over 426 listings that are listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and they have several indices and several different products that are designed to meet the customers' needs. Now, at the end of the day's trading session, they had a total of 335,978,802 shares that were traded in over 314,000 deals that were made, corresponding to a market value of 24.7 billion rand within a day. You can imagine such a huge stock market with over billions being traded on a single day. We are talking about the South African rand. That is 24.7 billion South African rands that were traded on the market yesterday. Now, compared with the previous day of trade, when you compare with Thursday with Wednesday, there was a 21% improvement in volume, a 17% improvement in turnover, and a 16% improvement in the deals, driving the market, the current market capitalization of JSE to 20.2 trillion rand. That is the current market capitalization. In aggregate, 330 Johannesburg Stock Exchange listed equities participated in trading, ending with 238 gainers. You can imagine a market ending with over 200 gainers within a single day, and only 71 losers. Rand Gold and Exploration Company led the gainers the second day in a row with a gain of 1.24, with a gain of over 55% to 1.24 the South African rands. And then Visual International Holdings at 33% also came out as a top gainer. On the losing side, we had Mantengu Mining, which came out with an end of day price depreciation of 50% at 0.01 rand per share, while Eastern Platinum at 12.97% drop, and then South Ocean Holdings also at 11.76% came out as a bottom loser. Regarding their indices, the JSE market indices, benchmark index, also came out at, went up by over 1,519 points to close at 71,264 points. That is the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We wouldn't want to go any farther than this. We wanted you just to know the fact that these stocks are investable, the fact that you can participate in this trading. You can diversify your investments. You don't have to invest in land. You don't have to invest in property alone. As you go for the weekend, just a thought you may have. If you save some money, if you are going out and maybe you save some money, think about buying some stock. Think about buying some crypto. Think about buying some other financial asset that may not be tangible. These assets gives you this asset gives you a best where you can actually rely on when probably things go rough and you probably don't have where to run to. You don't have any other passive income, and you're struggling really to make it through. My name is Anthony. We are going to, of course, close the markets very soon at exactly 1 p.m. and they will open on Monday at exactly 9 a.m. and I will be back still to see how today's markets were able to play out. Enjoy your weekend. I hope to see you next week, same time, same place. Goodbye for now.